Let's send it out to Jay Crawford, who's now standing by with CC Sabathia. What's up, Jay?
And CC Skitty.
Hey, Mike. How are you? Good to talk to you. First of all, I want to start by just having everybody take a look at CC Sabathia. The first thing I said when I saw him is, where'd the other half of you go? He looks like he's in phenomenal shape. In fact, you said you're down about 50 pounds from the playing league.
Yeah, I played at like 310, 315. I'm like 270, 275 right now.
Wow. So you're in for two reasons. The biggest one is you're going into the Guardians Hall of Fame over the weekend, tomorrow. What is that like? What does that mean to you?
Oh, it's special. It's humbling. Getting drafted by this organization at 17 years old meant a lot. And, I always say I don't think my career ends up the way it does had I not get drafted by this organization. Mark Shapiro, Dan O'Dowd, John Hart, all these different guys that, had a huge impact on my career, helping me turn in from an amateur, boy into a professional man. So, I was born in the Bay Area in Vallejo, but I really feel like I grew up here in Cleveland. I got married here. Three or four of my kids were born here. Bought my first house here. So I really feel like, special and connected to the city. So feels great to be going to the Hall of Fame.
It kind of puts a bow on your Cleveland career, really. I mean, there's no higher honor as a Guardian than to go into their Hall of Fame. When you look back on your career, obviously you had to make decisions that were in the best interest of your financial interest and your family. But I know that you enjoyed your time here in Cleveland. All things equal, you kind of feel like you would have rather spent your entire career here.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that wasn't my decision leaving here. It was not my decision to leave Cleveland. But I think it was a necessary one, and I think it was a lesson that I needed to learn. All the guys that came before me, whether it was Tony, Manny, all these different guys, I'm like, oh, I'm different than them. I'm gonna stay here forever. I'm their guy, and then learning the lesson that it's a business, and getting a chance to get traded to Milwaukee, and understanding that it's baseball. You go up there and you do your job, and this place will always be special to you, but you got to understand the business side of it, and I think that was a lesson that I need to learn.
Yankee fans can be of a certain breed. Guardians, Indians fans, a certain breed. How are they different fan base?
I feel like the fan base here is a lot. But the baseball community here, the baseball fans that are here, it's a real baseball community. It's a real fan base, and these people come out and support you when you're playing well. So I love playing here and trying to perform here, and I still have nightmares about 2007, and if I pitch best most series, I still feel like I let this fan base down.
I don't think they feel that way. I really don't.
that makes me feel better, but it's still hard for me.
The memory gave the fans collectively during your career here, winning a Cy Young and doing all of the things you did. I have no doubt in my mind that the Cleveland fan holds you near and dear and a very special place in their heart. What are you expecting that ovation to be like when you take the field tomorrow to take that really highest honor that a Cleveland Indians Guardians player can take?
Yeah, no, I'm excited. Hopefully it's loud. Hopefully people feel the same ways I do about this city and this fan base. So, like I said, I'm excited to go in tomorrow. I have my family here. My mom's here. Four of my kids here, the two oldest. So, I think it'll be a special day.
Yeah. What do you want Cleveland fans to know about your time here and your thoughts on that?
I think the biggest thing I want people to know is, my career doesn't turn out the way it did.
All right, coaches,
had I not got drafted.
1 minute. Finish up your last set of drills. We're going to bring it up, and then we're going to rotate. All right? 1 minute.
I was able to learn and grow and turn into a Cy Young pitcher here.
Well, we got to talk about the Guardians. My God.
Yeah.
Like talking to you earlier, there are some that are still looking at it as if it's fool's gold. But when you get past that 100-game mark, there's enough sample size. You kind of are what you are. What is this team? What is their ceiling?
Man, the thing that I've been impressed with is they can hit, man. It's not just Hosey. I feel like in the last couple of years, it's just, you wait for Hosey to hit a 3-run homer, or you waiting him to come up late in the game and hit a double, to drive him some run. But it's Naylor, it's, Stephen Kwan, it's all these different guys that can drive in runs and hit for power. I think the league's wide open. I think to me personally, I think, you know, Baltimore is probably the best team in the American League, and they just gave up 10 runs to the Guardians. So,
on their new big
and the Guardians have won three out of 4 against them this year. So, you know, there's a chance there. So I'm excited to see what happens.
When you just mention World Series, it brings up so many emotions for Cleveland fans because obviously in the history of the series, long time ago, there was a rich history, but it's been since 1948. Close calls a number of times when you were here, obviously the close call in 2016. Do you think this team, the way it's composed right now, can pull off a Texas Rangers from last year or a Braves from a few years ago and shock everybody?
I honestly do. I mean, I think, like what I was saying, I think the league is wide open, and I think the way these guys hit and hit for power, anything can happen, especially with the bullpen. Their bullpen is elite. And I think that's what you need going down the stretch of October.
Well, I'm glad you went to the bullpen because there's a bit of a debate going on in Major League circles right now as to whether or not a reliever should be considered for a Cy Young.
Yeah.
There's been 9, and it hasn't happened since Gagne in the early 2000s. When you look at his numbers, Emmanuel Tase, you kind of see that he's having, and I know that there are some good pitchers having great years right now in the American League, but no one's having that absolute runaway Cy Young campaign. From a starter who's won a Cy Young, what kind of considerations should a closer get?
No, I think a closer that is having tough season that Tase is having, he definitely should get your consideration. I mean, you know, we talk about Gagne that year that he had, I think it's 2003 or 4. I mean, it's unbelievable. So, if there's no clear-cut runaway winner with the Cy Young from a starter standpoint, which I don't really see outside of Skubal, I mean, I think you got to give some consideration.
We'd love to hear that. I just checked.
When you're that lights out, I mean, it is what it is.
We just looked at the odds. I think he's plus 10,000 or something like that. Not that that means he's, what's going to happen, but who knows? September, a lot of baseball to go August.
You're pitching some big games down the stretch, and you're pitching some national games, and the opinion might change.
As you look around here, the reason we're here, we're at Luke Easter Field. This is something that I know is near and dear to your heart and your pitching foundation. Tell us a little bit about what's going on here today and what the mission is.
Yeah, so this is a baseball camp that we're doing, the Pitching Foundation. And we do these camps every year. We do them in California, we do them in the Bronx, we do them here in Cleveland. And the goal is just to turn, these kids into baseball fans. I think for the longest time I wanted to turn kids into baseball players, but we need fans. And I think about my experience growing up. My mom was a baseball fan, so we went to the Coliseum all the time. She put on the catcher's gear to go catch me. So I think, watching all these parents come out here and bring their kids out here, I want to create more experiences to create more fans, and that's how we create more baseball players.
Have you seen an impact from what you've been doing? Because I know you've been doing this for years. Have you seen a tangible impact?
Yeah, I mean, what's crazy is, my last year in 2019, I'm out on the field in Toronto, and I was actually talking to March Pyro, just randomly sitting out on the field, and Rowdy Tellez comes running up to me, and he, I had never met him before, and he goes, hey, I just wanted to say hello, and I grew up going to your camps as a kid in Vallejo. So
wow.
My last year, and having a kid in the big leagues that went to my camps, it's full circle.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, we've definitely seen the impact. And, it makes me feel good. It makes us feel good while we do these camps.
That's pretty cool. When you come back to Cleveland, I know you love to eat. You're eating much differently these days. Do you have a couple of favorite eatery spots that you have to stop by when you're here?
We always go to Marble Room. That's always the dinner spot that we always go to. So I'm sure I'll be there at some point this weekend. That's really it. Now in my svelte days, I try to keep it light.
If you were to get on the mound right now with the radar gun kind of play, how fast you do?
Oh, 68.
That's not you're throwing
68.
underhand 68. There's no way you're throwing a baseball at 68.
My shoulder is not good.
Now, I know, tell us about your kid, because we followed him on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, and we know that he's a huge prospect, but he's in a bit of a transition period at an injury. What's going on with him?
Yeah, so he's here now. He was down in the Cape and fractured his hamate bone, so he had surgery about 2 weeks ago. Just got the stitches out. He's in the portal, so in the next couple of days he's gonna make an announcement about where he's going. But everything's looking good. I mean, he's a big kid. He works his butt off. Looks nothing like his dad at 20 years old. So I'm excited for him. He's got a lot of power. He's a good hitter. Plays first base. He can play the outfield. So he's got a bright future. And honestly, he's a smart kid. So you know, I think he's got a bright future in the game. Maybe, you know, baseball ops, you know, all these different things that you can do in the game. His mind works for that.
CC, great to see you again. Thank you so much. Congratulations on going into the Guardians Hall of Fame. It's going to be a huge day for you tomorrow. Enjoy it, and it's great to see you on the Ultimate Sports Show.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Take care. So there you have it. I know he says that he's throwing 68. I don't buy it. I don't buy it for a second. I just can't get over the actual physical specimen that this guy is. I'm telling you, he could still put on a Major League uniform, and no one would think that he's out of place. No one.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Jay.
Jay.
You bet, guys. See ya.